Eccolo. Testo narrato pulito per 11 Labs. There is a town in Pennsylvania where the ground has been on fire since 1962. Not a wildfire, not a chemical spill. A coal mine fire burning directly beneath the streets, the houses, the foundations of an entire community. It has been burning for over 60 years. It cannot be stopped. And the town it destroyed, Centralia, Pennsylvania, once had over 1,000 residents. Today, it has 4. This is the story of how an entire American town was swallowed by fire from below, how the government ignored it for decades, and how the people who refused to leave are still there today, living above an inferno that will burn for another 250 years. Centralia was founded in 1866 in Columbia County, Pennsylvania. It was a coal mining town, built on top of one of the richest anthracite coal seams in the United States. For nearly a century, it thrived. At its peak in the early 1900s, Centralia had over 2,700 residents, churches, schools, hotels, a community built on the coal beneath their feet. By the 1960s, the population had declined to around 1,100 people. The mines had mostly closed, but Centralia was still a living, functioning town until May 27, 1962. That was the day the Centralia Borough Council authorized the local volunteer fire department to clean up the town landfill. The fire department set the trash alight. They thought they extinguished it. They were wrong. The fire had found a hole in the pit's clay lining. It crept downward into an abandoned coal mine tunnel beneath the surface. And once it reached the coal, it had everything it needed: oxygen, fuel, space. It began to spread. For the first several years, the fire burned slowly and mostly unnoticed. Residents occasionally smelled smoke, noticed warm patches of ground, saw wisps of steam rising from cracks in the earth during winter. The government was aware. Attempts were made to extinguish the fire in the 1960s and early 1970s. Excavation, flushing with water, pumping in mud and fly ash. Nothing worked. The coal seam beneath Centralia extended for miles in every direction, hundreds of feet deep. The fire moved through the tunnel network like a living thing, finding new passages, new fuel, new air. By the late 1970s, it was directly beneath the town itself. In February 1981, a 12-year-old boy named Todd Domboski was walking through his grandmother's backyard when the ground collapsed beneath him. He fell into a sinkhole. The hole was 4 feet wide and 8 feet deep. At the bottom, carbon monoxide levels were high enough to kill him within minutes. His cousin pulled him out by his hands before that happened. The gas readings from the hole were measured shortly after. Carbon monoxide, 1,100 parts per million. The level considered immediately dangerous to life is 1,200. Todd Domboski had been seconds from death in his grandmother's backyard. After the sinkhole incident, the federal government finally took action. In 1984, Congress allocated $42 million to relocate the residents of Centralia. Most accepted the offer. They packed their lives and left the homes their families had lived in for generations. But not everyone. A group of residents refused. They had been born in Centralia. Their parents were buried in Centralia. Their entire lives were rooted in a place that the government was telling them no longer existed. They fought the relocation in court. They lost. In 1992, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania invoked eminent domain. The remaining residents were ordered to leave. Most did. A handful refused. Eventually, the state agreed to allow the final holdouts to remain in their homes for the rest of their lives, on the condition that when they died, the properties would revert to the state. Today, Centralia has 4 official residents. The streets are still there. Cracked and overgrown, but still mapped, still named. Route 61, the main highway that once ran through the center of town, was closed in 1993 after the road began to buckle and crack from the heat below. It is now a stretch of broken asphalt covered in graffiti. a ghost road leading to a ghost town. The Centralia mine fire is still burning today. Geologists estimate the coal seam contains an estimated 37 million tons of anthracite coal. At the current rate of burning, the fire will continue for approximately 250 more years. It cannot be extinguished. Steam still rises from the ground on cold days. The earth in certain areas is warm to the touch. Sinkholes still form without warning. The Centralia Cemetery, situated on a hill above the worst of the fire, is still maintained. It is perhaps the strangest cemetery in the United States. A maintained graveyard in the middle of an abandoned town, sitting above a fire that will outlast everyone alive today. Centralia is still there. You can visit it. Drive the broken stretch of Route 61. Walk the empty streets. See the smoke rising from the ground on a cold morning. What you won't find is the town that was there before. The churches, the schools, the families who had lived there for generations. All of it gone. Not from a sudden disaster, but from decades of slow, unstoppable destruction that nobody found a way to stop in time. The fire is still burning beneath your feet if you stand there today. It will be burning when your children visit, and their children after them. Some things once started cannot be undone.